Awesome. So let's get this recorded so I can send it to you all when the lesson is over. Just share my screen here as well. And I will pause the recording when we go to mark our roll. So just having a bit of a discussion here about simple interest. All right. Excuse me while I let some other people in as they come. All right, so we go to the bank. Here we are. We go to the bank. They got all the money, yeah? Cash. Paste. Paste. All right, so the bank has all the money. So then what do? You said we borrow money, yeah? So then the bank goes, okay, I'll give you some money. So we'll be like, can I borrow some money? What's another word for borrow?
Can you lend me?
Lend, okay. And that's very close to the word loan, yeah? Can I? So you go to the bank and you can say, can I borrow some money? But if you want to say it more proper, you say, I'll be polite as well. Can I please take out a loan? Okay. So that's how you say it properly. Okay. We prefer to say this. It sounds professional. So can I please take out a loan? Okay. So then the bank goes, all right, how much would you like? So the bank gives you money. Or I'm going to say loans you money. So another word for loan is give. And so now you're happy, right? You got a lot of money. You got money in your pockets now. But what are you going to do? Do you just take the money and run off and never give it back?
No, so they give you a period of time to pay back.
Right. So then they'll be like, okay. So the bank says to us, okay, you pay me back. But can we pay them back immediately? Can we pay them back straight away?
Yeah, if you have the money, yeah.
If you have the money, yeah. But let's say you go off and you go buy a car. All right. Let's get an image of a car here. All right. Vroom, vroom. You go buy a car. All right. So now you have little money left or maybe no money left. So you're happy, you use the money, you go buy a car. Right? But then the bank says, okay, you pay me back. But then you say, I can't. I don't have enough money. Right now. Sad face. Okay, so then, all right. Awesome, Mohammed, you've got the right idea. So Then the bank goes, okay. I'll be like, okay, take your time. Well, pay me back over, let's say, X amount of years. So X is a number, yeah? But you got to pay me back extra. Does that make sense? What is that extra money called? There's a special name for it.
Is the reply?
A point, not quite. Mohammed's got it. He typed,
Equity,
what's that?
equity, something like that.
Quality,
No.
right?
Bill.
Yeah, there is a bill involved. Correct. Lookman's got it. Ivana's got it. All right, reveal. So the extra money here, pay me back extra. That money, that extra money is called interest. Okay. And this is where we start talking about simple interest. All right, someone's mute someone. All right. So that's what interest is. When you pay someone back the extra amount. Okay. Now, when the bank gives you money, what do we call that amount that they give you at the start?
Loan.
It's a loan, yeah, but how about the amount? There's a special name with it.
The principal?
That's the one. Thanks, Ann. So the bank loans you money. That amount there is called the principal amount. Because now when you learn about loans and simple interest, it's easier to just dive in, and I could teach it to you like this. Here's the equation. I want you to put in the numbers. That's it. Good luck. But then you play with the numbers and you won't understand why you're doing it. Okay. So principal amounts. A couple of other words that they could use as well is initial amounts. Initial is at the start, yeah? So you could also say starting amounts. Okay, but the
Mr. Can
what's up?
can we say invested amount?
In invested.
Yeah.
Or you're on the right track, but that's another scenario. Here we're borrowing money, yeah? But when you invest, it's a different story. Same idea, but you're right. You're on the right track there. So I'm going to put invested amount down here. I like that, invested amount. But we'll get back to that, okay? So I want you to focus on understanding today what all these words mean, because we might hear all these words and we might not understand it fully, okay? It's important that you understand. So the story so far, let's recap. So then, hold up. We hold money and we give it back to the bank. There's the money and we put that into the bank. How do we draw the bank, huh? There we go. Here's the door. Money sign. Oh, bank, very powerful. Yeah, if you don't like my drawings, I'm sorry. I'm not the best drawer. But, okay, so the story so far goes like this. Let me just name one more thing. When you pay the bank back, that's called repayments, okay? So there's another key word there. Okay. So let's start from the top here. We want money. We don't have money. We go to the bank. Can I please take out a loan? Can I please borrow some money? The bank goes, okay, loans you some money. So that's called the principal amount. So you have all that money now, the principal amount, you go buy it on a car. You go spend it on the car, you go spend it on buying a house, whatever. Okay, but the bank's like, okay, now you pay me back. But we say, oh, I can't because I don't have any money right now. Bank goes, all right, fine. How about you pay me back over a certain amount of years, but you pay me back extra. I'm going to add something here. Because, well, then you say, oh, well, how much extra? Well, I want extra by R% per annum. PA stands for per annum, which is annual per year. Same idea, okay? So every year, I want you to pay me back this percentage extra. Okay, so we want that much extra. All right, so I want you to, I'll give you some time. I'll let you think about that. Okay. And in the meantime, I'll just let you copy that down and then I'll mark the roll. Okay. Give me a second.
Mister,
Now, have a look at this. At the end, when you do repayments, right? Well, think about this a little bit here. When we do repayments, do we end up paying more than we borrowed or do we end up paying less than we borrowed?
More.
We end up paying a lot more. Yeah? So what we call that is we call that the total amount. Or we can call it the total value after you pay back, okay? Now, how much is the total amount? Actually, let's establish a few things first because I don't want to keep on saying, when we write out the words, we don't want to keep on writing out these words all the time, yeah? We can't be bothered writing out the full word. So can we give them nicknames? Can we give them nicknames? So what are we going to call the principal amount? Let's come up for that one first because that one came up in first in our storyline.
PM.
P? PA? How about we just call it
PM.
what? PR?
P itself.
Just P? Lowercase or capital?
Lowercase.
Really?
Yeah, because if we're using it to find the principal, it should be lowercase. But if like that's what we already have, or we're trying to find something else, it should be capital case.
Well, you know what? We'll just put it as capital P because you'll see this in the formula, the equation, okay? So convention, but we're off to a good start. You know, we know it's going to be called P. All right. Give me some other nicknames. What about the rate? Already
PA.
there. What's that?
It's PA.
PA. So we're going to call it PA for the rate.
Percent PA.
Percent PA. That's
No.
pretty long now.
R.
Oh, just R? Okay. Which one? PA, percent, or R?
R.
Ah, because we're talking about the rate, yeah? So you're starting to get the idea here? I'll call it the single letter at the front. Maybe, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What about time? And notice here we're going to use a lowercase, yeah? Sorry. Somebody said something. T, all right. Happy with that. Let's make T lowercase as well. All right, T. Add that in. And we want to calculate our interest. That's a big one. So we're going to call that capital I, big idea. And what about the total amount? Amount?
Can you
Call
do
it-
A?
Yeah, we'll call it a capital A. All right, for amount. So far, so good. Can I get a thumbs up or thumbs down? We've got the story. We've got the variables now. We'll call them variables, yeah? Instead of calling them nicknames, we'll call them variables. So I'll make a section here. Nicknames, also known as variables. We've got P, we've got R, we've got T, we've got I, and we've got A. Now, let's see if we can link up some of the ideas. You know how in the end, we need to pay back extra, right? How do we calculate our extra, like our total amount? How much do you have to pay back first? So in your total amount here, when you borrow money, you got to pay them back, yeah?
Yeah.
How much do you pay back first?
Do we gonna pay how much that we got extra times by 2?
Times by 2? Ooh, why you say times by 2? Does it say double in here? Good idea, but is it double? Is it always doubled? Because it seems a bit unfair. Say, for example, if I want to borrow $5,000, right? I want to buy a car for $5,000. I end up having to pay the bank back $10,000. I may as well not buy a car at all. Too expensive. So let's say we borrow $5,000. Well, the first thing is that we should pay them back $5,000, yeah? So what letter was that? Which nickname?
P?
Hey, all right, excellent. We'll start off with that. So the amount here at the end, if you look at the bottom left-hand corner, we look at the bottom here. The amount here is equal to, well, we pay back our principal amount first, all right? But then we have to pay back the, what else
The
do we?
time?
Is it time that we pay back?
No.
We can't pay back time. We pay back money, yeah?
I interest.
Aye, yes, yes. So remember the extra here is the interest. So we pay them both back. What do we do with the numbers? Do you times them?
Yeah.
And you times them, huh?
Now we
Plus.
plus it.
Yeah, you plus it. That's right.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've come up with your first main idea. The total amount is your starting amount, your principal amount, plus the extra, which is your interest. Thumbs up if you understand this, because this is really important. All right. Now, before we get on to the invested amount, I don't want to confuse you just yet. We'll work with this scenario first here. We'll start off with borrowing. Okay, so this is the scenario is, so the situation, yeah, is we're borrowing money. We're borrowing or we're taking out a loan. I'm just going to write here, no money man, no money person. Okay. So far so good. Mikhail, I'm just going to hang on to that thought there for in the invested amount. And we'll draw up a scenario here. Okay, let's say we take a loan. And I want you to write out this scenario. And actually, give me a second. Let's see. We'll write out our story. I'm going to use someone as a guinea pig. Let me write. Ivana, I'm going to pick on you. Takes a loan of $10,000 for rich boy to buy a Mercedes Benz. Yeah, you're going to buy yourself a nice car, yeah? I don't know if it's secondhand or third hand or if it's a stolen car, but $10,000, that's a pretty good deal, yeah? So you're going to take out a loan from the bank of $10,000 to buy a Mercedes Benz. But let's say you don't go to a bank, you go to Mr. Did. You go to me, you borrow the money off me, yeah? Nah, actually, let's go to the bank. The bank offers an interest rate. Sorry. The bank allows you to pay back at a, oh, sorry. Ooh. Allows you to make repayments at, let's say, 5% per annum over 3 years. Okay. So you're going to pay them back over 3 years. My first question to you, and Miss Sue and I have been just out over the last period, we've been writing up the hurdle task next week for you. Okay, we're almost done with it. Calculate the amount of interest in the first year. Start off with that. Make this a bit bigger. All right. So in this case here, what kind of ideas can we identify? The important part here is to like figure out what you have first. Okay, we'll get to the other formula in a second. Okay. But let's see what we have first. What kind of ideas do we have? And I'll show this part here. What is that $10,000?
Is the principal amount?
That's the principal amount. Okay, so what I want you to do, after you write out this question here, here's the example, is it's really important that you underline and you annotate. So if you don't underline or annotate, ooh, it's going to be tricky if you try to keep it in your head. So are we going to write principal out like this? Or was that too long?
Just P and that's it.
Yeah, all right. We'll just write capital P. Give it a nickname, yeah? All right. Ivana, I've got the next question for you. What else can you identify in this question? Any nicknames? Any of our key players?
5% per annum.
All right. What's that?
That's the R.
That's the R. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to underline that. I'm going to call that R. What else do we have? Amy, I'll get you to type in the chat because I know your microphone's not working. Amy. Have a read through. What were some other important pieces of ideas? Well, we're close to the end of the sentence, yeah? %, yeah, 5% we've already labeled here as R.
Over 3 years. Repayments over 3 years.
Mhm. So, all right, so we're focusing on 3 years. I'm just going to get Amy to type in the chat. What would you give the nickname for 3 years as? Time, excellent. And are we going to write time out or can we give it a shorter name? T, nice. I noticed a lot of you typed in capital T, but you can actually just use lowercase t. Okay. Now, our first question here asks us, calculate the amount of interest in the first year. What's the key word in this part here? Or keywords?
Calculate.
All right, we got to calculate.
Interest?
All right. Amount of interest or the interest?
In the first year.
Ah, okay, very good. In the first year as well. So I'm going to put that in blue here. It's our circumstance. So remember our process is calculate. That's what we need to do. The interest is what we need to find. So that's our participant. And in the first year is our circumstance. So it's the condition, like, okay, the interest, but how long in the first year? So just in the first year here, how much do you think Ivana has to pay back? Well, instead of thinking, let's do, yeah? So I want you to build this up. We're building up some knowledge here, okay? In the first year, how much extra money would Ivana have to pay back? What does this 5% mean per annum?
Half of 10K.
Half? Isn't that
What do you know, yeah?
50%?
There you guys have it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 50%. So you're on the right track here. Right.
The fifth.
So
Okay.
Mohammed here put in the chat. So Ivana has to pay back 5%. 5% every year. Okay. So 5%. I'm just going to write here. 5% per annum. That's 5% every year. So every year he has to pay back. So what about the first year? He pays back 5%, yeah? But 5% of what?
Of 10,000?
Yes, perfect. So he pays back 5% of his principal amount. So his starting amount of $10,000. All right. Okay. Mohammed, you have deep understanding of this. Fantastic. So 5% of $10,000. How do we, hey, isn't this a percentages question? How do we answer this question? Didn't we do this in the last couple of lessons? Yep. So 5% times 10,000. What's another way we can write this? Instead of writing percent, what can we change it to? What is percent the same as?
Decimal?
A decimal? Okay. So what would our decimal be?
It's gonna be 0.5.
0.05. Yeah, Mohammed's typed that in the
Yeah.
chat as well. Here's wrote this as a percentage. This one here we wrote as a decimal. Can we write it as a fraction? How do we write it as a fraction?
5/100.
Yeah, excellent. So remember, the percentage is the same as divided by 100. Now, I want you to keep this one here in mind because this one's the important one, okay? The one we want. And I want you to keep an eye on that one. So what's 5/100 or 0.05 times 1,000, 10,000?
Is 500.
500? All right, let's double check. $0.05. I'll actually do this. $500. Okay. So that's $500. So what was this $500 again?
Is paying for each year.
So that's how much he has to pay back every year, yeah?
Yep.
What's the name for this? There's a specific name for it. Instead of saying pay back extra.
Interest?
Excellent. So interest equals $500. Okay. That's the nice way to put it. But how long?
For 1 year.
Yes, $500. We'll say in the first year. Right. Let me, has Miss Sharma shown you the formula yet?
Yeah.
I equals PRT over
Yeah.
over
PRT over
100.
100. Yeah.
All right. So let's put that into action as well. I'm going to put a line down here and I'm going to show you that when we calculate I equals PRT over 100, we will get the same idea or the same amount, yeah? This requires you to do one thing first. When we say the first year, how long is it?
One.
1, okay, T equals 1. Fantastic. Oh, it's tempting to say 12 months, yeah? But when we say the time, we want it in years. So that's maybe something that I should put in here as well. Make sure the time is in years. That's important.
Mister, if the time is in month, we have to change it to year.
That's correct. If it's in months, then we have to change it to years. We'll take note of that as well, so we can do more examples. So have a look. P, that was 10,000, wasn't it? Times R, 5, times, in this case, 1 over 100. If you type this into the calculator, what do you get?
$5,000.
5,000. Swear. You had an extra zero somewhere.
500.
Yeah, 500. What do you notice?
The interest.
Yeah. Is the interest the same?
Yep.
So this simple interest formula is basically just percentages. And then you multiply it by however many years you have. So how much interest would he pay in, well, how much interest would Ivana pay in 3 years?
1,500.
Nice. Correct. Let's just double take back. Are you happy with this answer here? I'll leave it like this.
Do we get a times by 3?
We're answering first part. It's just in the first year, which we did. But I'm really focusing on the answer here. What's the difference?
Is that sign dollar? And
That's correct. So Sarah typed it in the chat, dollars. If you don't put dollars in, you're not going to get the mark. No way can you get the mark. Just put 500. Nope. So you have to put, this is incorrect here. You have to put $500. Okay. Because remember, interest, and you go back to the idea, what does interest tell you? It's how much you paid back. Yes. In the process, so when you're putting in the calculations here, you don't need to put in the symbols, but in the answer, when you answer, you need to put in the dollar sign. That's what Muhammad said. So thank you, Muhammad. Excellent. Now, you know how I said, draw your attention over here? Well, isn't this very similar? All we were missing was that times 1 for 1 year. So there you go. Now, the extension question there, which I did ask, was part B. Determine the amounts interest Ivana pays over 3 years. And you know what? I'm going to put in the amount of marks here. That's going to be worth 1 mark. Just so you get, you know, if you come across this in a test or in a SAC, you'll know how many marks it's worth, yeah? Calculate the amount in the first year. I think I made this one. Oh no. Sorry, this one here would also be worth 1 mark. Okay. So how did we answer this second question? Times it by 3 and the over interest for 3 years, right, sir? That's correct. So Ivana said, Ivana said, times it by 3 and the overall interest is 3 years. All right, so that's interest for 1 year. Interest for 3 years is 3 times 500. I'm hearing a bit of feedback here. Sorry, Mikhail, I'm just going to mute you. 3 times 5,000 is 1,500. Don't forget the dollar sign.
So 3 times 500, you mean, yeah?
Yeah. Did I say 3 times 5?
No, you said 3 times 5,000.
Oh, sorry. My bad. My bad.
All good,
You
all
got
good.
me. So can I get a thumbs up if this makes a lot more sense? If you understand the scenario now? Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right. Pretty decent. At least half the class understands it. I'm pretty proud of you guys, of course. Now, okay. What if I said now, how much did Ivana pay back in total?
She paid $1,500.
How much?
$1,500.
That's it. Ivana borrowed $10,000.
11,500.
All right.
11,500.
What did we do?
No, we're gonna plus
You add the
10,000.
money that you borrowed and then the interest that was made.
Bam. Beautiful. So there's the question. So the question was, notice how we're answering first and then we're going to go back and write the question. State the total amount Ivana paid for the loan. That's really bad wording. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to write it another way. Calculate the total. Oops. Okay, you can write the top line or you can write the second line. You can write both of them. Yes, so keyword here, or keywords, calculate. What are we calculating? The total amount. Yes. And you can underline of the loan as well. But notice here, you can underline the whole thing, but the main thing that we're focusing on is the total amount. And we know that's A. So we had the total amount is equal to, well, how much you borrowed, yeah? That was our principal amount, plus the amount of interest. So that's the extra money, yeah? So that's $10,000. Notice how formula first, then substitute, yeah? So do you see the structure of this step by step? $11,500. Ooh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. So I'm going to keep those 11s together, bit of a space. So technically, when Ivana went to buy that dodgy Mercedes-Benz, he didn't end up paying $10,000 for the car. In the end, he ended up paying technically $11,500 for it. Okay. Is everyone happy with this? Have I forgotten anything? Awesome. There's good money talk, yeah? And this is really important. Have I missed anything? Are you sure?
Instead, do we get the last amount? Do we gonna divide it by 3 years?
Divided by 3, what for?
That we can find for each year how much we gonna pay?
Ah, that's another question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another question. We can pop that in as well. But Sarah, thank you, Sarah. Sarah says dollars. I can't believe you guys missed out on this. You got to catch me out, yeah? Thank you, Sarah. Now, one extension question that Mikhail said. How much? Well, let's say, well, do you think we should, okay, Ivana works and he gets paid every month. Do you think he should pay back every year? Or would it make sense if he pays back every month?
Every month.
Yeah. Determine the amounts of monthly repayments, because now we're going to repay back, yeah? Determine the amount of monthly repayments for the loan. I'm going to make this one mark as well. For the loan. Whoopsies. Over 3 years. Ooh, this one's a bit of a, let's think about this one. If Ivana goes to borrow the money and he has to pay back a total of $11,500, how much would he pay back every month?
Instead, we can $11,500. We can divide by 36 months.
Ooh, I've got two solutions here. Ivana also, so Mikhail, fantastic. And Ivana, you also gave me another solution in the chat as well. Let's check it out. Who should we go with first, Mikhail or Ivana? We'll go with Ivana first, yeah? So repayments. So we got to pay back monthly now. Let's write the title for it. We'll write repayments. Unfortunately, we don't have a nickname for repayments, yeah? So we'll just call it repayments. So we're getting $11,500 and we're going to divide it by 3. What does this give us?
Payment of each month.
Each month?
Payments per year.
Ah,
Per year,
payments
it
per
says.
year. Okay, so let's calculate that. 11,500 divided by 3. Ooh. That's how much you pay back every year, right? So 3,833. That's dollars per year, yeah? That's how much you pay back a year. Is there something kind of weird about this number that I've written out?
Yeah, is it?
Too long. Yeah, good, Mohammed. How should we write this out instead? When we talk about money,
383.
$3,833
Ah,
and
33 cents.
yeah, good. 2 decimal places, yeah? Stop at cents. Excellent. Okay, so that's how much he pays per year, every year. But how much does he pay a month?
Divide that by 12.
That's it. Correct, Ivana. Divide that by 12 again, and Muhammad as well. So we can get this answer and then divide it by 12, okay? But look, you can do this. 11,500 divided by 3, you divide it by 12 again. So, oh, thanks, Ivana. 319.44. So $319.44 per month. So that's Ivana's way of doing it. Now, Mikhail had another way. What did you do, Mikhail? Hello.
Yeah, I have divided that 11,500 by 36 months
Right. How did you get 36 months?
because it's 3 years. Each of you is 12 months. 12 plus 12 plus 12 is 36, and I get that.
Yep. 12 plus 12 plus 12. Or we could have done 3 years times 12 months. Yeah.
Yeah,
And why did you want to change it to months? Why months? Why not weeks? Why didn't you change it to weeks?
because it's actually gonna be more easier to find it.
Right. What key word is in the question there? Read the question.
Monthly. We have to put
Yeah,
monthly.
correct. And in the chat here, Mohammed said monthly and Sarah also said per month as well. So there's the key word, monthly. So you did it, but you're like, oh, can't really figure out why. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Now you see it? So it's the same as 36 months. So we can just go repayments. Oh, my writing's shocking now. We can take that 11,500 and divide it by 12. And Khalid, you got the answer?
Instead, we're gonna divide it by 12 or by 36.
Oh, sorry. Silly me. 36. Thank you. 11,500 divided by 36 is.
It's the same, 319 and 44 together.
Yeah. I noticed in the chat you put another 4 in. You typed an extra 4 there. Do we need that last 4 there? Khalid?
Sorry, sir?
You in the chat when you typed to me, you put 444.
Oh no, just 4 and then not 3 4s. Sorry,
Oh, why is that?
because then it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, how do you read this bit?
319 and 44 cents.
Yeah, cool. So make
Dollars.
sure you stop. Yeah, make sure when, so I could ask round, oh, I forgot to put this in. Absolutely important. Correct your answer to the nearest, what?
Just
I've been saying it the whole time. The nearest cent. Sorry, cent. Are we all cool with that? So far, there were two ways to do this. Ivana's way, we did kind of like 2 steps. Technically, you didn't need this one. You could do, if you understood that you break it down into years and then you break it down again into months, that works. And Mikhail's one, we changed it to 36 months. Whichever way works for you, but for me, personally for me, I like Mikhail's way just a little more because I can see the 36 months, yeah, it matches up first. And then it just makes the whole thing a bit easier. Yep, Ivana also said here as well, whenever you see the idea of nearest cent, that means 2 decimal places. Okay, whenever you see nearest cents. Yes, 2, me too, it's easier, awesome. So, I mean, both are fantastic ways, but then you go with whatever's easier for you, okay? So, let's get a check-in because it's almost the end of class. Thumbs up or thumbs down for our lesson so far? It's probably one of my better lessons, to be honest, because I explained what the hell's going on. Okay, cool. Now, in the last couple of minutes of the lesson, maybe just kick back. I'm going to tell you another story, but this isn't a story about borrowing money anymore. It's about a story about investment. Okay, so we're still talking about simple interest here. But now we're going to talk about investment. And I noticed that we didn't have any time to go through the education perfect thing, but maybe if you can have a look at it, I wrote that up myself from scratch. To write up that section, it took me about 3 hours of work over a couple of days. So if you could do it, like that'd be really awesome. And it'd really help you as well, deepen your understanding with this. So Education Perfect is on Compass. If you can do that over the next couple of lessons as well, that'd be fantastic. Okay. So simple interest, we're focusing on investments. So let's say you are happy because you have a lot of money already. That's a lot of bills there, yeah? You got stacks. Yee. We got a lot of money. Rich. All right. But then you're like, but I want more money. Greedy. I want more money. So then now, guess what? You visit your friend again. You visit your buddy, the bank. Now your bank is neither a friend or an enemy, okay? Because the bank can do you good stuff. So you go to the bank and be like, you say to them, I would like to invest my money into a fixed interest account. Fixed interest, simple interest, same thing. Okay. So fixed means it doesn't move, yeah? But the amount that you get is the same amount. That's what it means when it says fixed. So the fixed amount here is the same amount. I'm going to be a bit more specific here. You earn the same amount. So you go to the bank and then you're like, okay, I would like to invest my money. So Mikhail, this is where the idea of invested amount comes in. And that's the same as principal amount. So there we go. There we go. We see it again. We see our capital P once again. Okay, the bank goes, all right, I'll take your money and I'll hold it for you. If you just leave your money in my bank account, let's just say the bank, let's make them purple, yeah? The bank says, if you leave your money with me, or let's say T amount of years, so T amount of years, then I will give you back extra money at a rate of a number percent per annum. Oh, that's a lot of information, yeah? So basically, if you leave your money with them, right, they're going to give you back extra money. Here's my question to you. Will they give you back more money if you leave it with them for longer?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. So leave it for longer, yeah?
Yep.
What if you'd left it in there for a year, but the rate that they gave you back was very high? Is that good as well?
It's good. I'm gonna leave it more.
Yeah, exactly. High rate. Let's do this. Let's do the math, yeah? Let's do the ideas first. High amount of years, that's good. High rate or interest rate, that's good. We like that. So T years, percent per annum. And what's the extra money that you get back? What's that called?
Is that interest?
That's the one. That's the interest. So can you see here, when we talk about interest, it really depends, and like principal amount, it depends on the scenario. It depends on the story. Are you taking out a loan? Are you taking money? Or are you giving money? So here the bank will give you back your money, back to you. And you're not smiling anymore. You're rich. You see this amount of these fat stacks here? You're going to get, whoops, missed out on something there. You're going to get heaps more now. You're triple rich. There you go. Get some on your face as well. Does that make sense? Stay humble. Of course, stay humble. But see all this money here? We're going to call that, again, the total amount. So the total amount, what was our formula? What do we call the total amount again? Nickname?
A,
A, capital A. And how do we calculate our A?
A plus P plus T.
Plus P. P, so your initial amount plus your extra money.
You're gonna plus A plus B.
Your principal plus your plus the extra money.
interest.
Yes, your interest. Okay, so there it is again. Now, remember for our interest here, the formula is I equals P T over 100. What's in between the PRT?
Times.
Times, excellent. Don't forget that. So hopefully this has given you a better understanding. So perhaps in your last lesson, you would have learnt about the characteristics of it. So just the formula and the notes. But now you understand the story behind it. Okay? Hopefully this, so whenever if you have money, put it in the bank. Let them give you back more money. Okay? That's how you save up. All right? So we did go through, I know we didn't go through any books from the questions from the book, but we explored this idea and we actually created questions out of it, which is fantastic. So just before you leave, can you drop a 1 to 10? 10 being, I really understand this. This was a really good lesson. And 1 being, sir, you can't teach. All right. All good. Solid, sweet. Now, if you want more practice, go on to Education Perfect and get that extra practice in, okay? Thank you, thank you. All right, now you're free to leave. Whoever's already put in the numbers in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
All right, you too, take care. I'm gonna put this on Compass, absolutely. And I'm going to upload this onto YouTube as well. So if you want to rewatch the lesson, you can hop onto YouTube. There's a link there. All right. Take care.
All right. Bye, mister. See ya.
All right. Yalla, bye, man. Take care.
You too.
Take care, see ya, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. You too. See you, Khalid.
Go after yourself. Bye.
Bye.